everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the Four Keeps Beneath the Waves, part 16 of our Four Keeps adventure campaign. Today is July 18th, 2022, and you are loved. It is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us on that Patreon. And again, if you have questions, the easiest way to ask them is actually going to be to join our Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. But let's say you already support us on YouTube, you already support us on Twitch and Patreon and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Guess what, buddy? I got your back, quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throat pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and we also have face masks. That's right, we got face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, and the proceeds of all of our merch is actually currently going to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause or possibly help support the show, again, patreon.com or indooradventure.redbubble.com. It's Indoor Adventure, no less at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey, RJ, who you playing today?
Hey everybody, my name is RJ, and today I'm playing Caelum, the Shadowkai Wizard. We both go by he, him.
Hello everybody, I'm LBHackEmUp. I'm going to be playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian Fighter tonight, and then we both go by she, her.
Hi, I'm Cyber, he, or whatever. I play Arjhan. Arjhan is a draconian mistake. He, him.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener, she, her. I'm going to be playing as Cori, the Eldritch Paladin, she, they, and he.
And I'm the Indoor Adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master, and also very sweaty because I'm having the second cuppa right before a very high-level dragon fight, so this is going to be a great time had by all. Now you're probably thinking, did you just say dragon fight? You betcha! So let's get a little bit of a recap in to see where we last left off, because the last time that we played was almost a month ago at this point in time, so it's been a hot second since we were actually able to get back into the second skins that are the Four Keeps. So last we picked up last session, you all made your way into Tylira's laboratory. Torjak was there, Discovery was there, Agravayne was there, and in that moment you decided to hedge your bets and see if Tylira would listen to reason, or at least have an explanation for yourself. It didn't have to result in bloodshed, and as the dice would have it, she seemed amenable. She seemed like she was willing to listen on that end. Much to the chagrin of Torjak, who immediately just sort of walked out, considered this a total waste of his time. It seems that he was in the do or die scenario, but he wasn't foolish enough to go up against the Four Keeps by himself. Discovery, after having a few questions that he wanted to ask Caelum, having been a former subject of Discovery? Patient. That's a good one. A patient of that good doctor. But meeting no real answers, getting no real information from him. Discovery then disintegrated themselves, as it seems that they were actually a clone here all along. Agravayne, however, just sort of sat in this large pool of virulent goo, and didn't seem particularly interested one way or the other. Your group then took Tylira to go on trial in front of none other than Tiamat herself, where you witnessed Tylira v. Tiamat, the trial of the century that, well, it resulted in Tiamat asking Arjhan what he thought that the best idea should do, and he sort of like conferred it back to her. Just like, do what you want, but just know this is kind of where we stand. At that point, you guys, with Swift as the 10 Winds, who had joined you throughout all of this journey, made your way back to the material plane, back to this laboratory where you had previously left Agravayne, only to find that Agravayne was not within the pool that you had left him at. And upon exiting out of this laboratory with most of its research notes and all of that goodness having been burnt down by Discovery on his way of exit, you made your way outside, where you saw that the capital of the Nightsworn, the citadel that lied at the bottom of a crater, had been melted down by an acid breath. At the cusp of this crater, again, where this large tower was located, you saw smoke, you saw fires, and when you crested over the hill, you saw that Agravayne was just going in drag lines over where you knew the primary base of fighting was. Your group rushed over towards this area to try and encounter Agravayne, and where we last left off, you had seen, and this is after Caelum had attempted to communicate with Xiao, with Aisha, and I believe, did you try and communicate with Sigurd as well?
Yes.
And there was no response from any of the three of them. It was at this point that you found Xiao's curved blade, his katana-like sword, embedded into the ground. Xiao is not was unable to be seen at this point, but you saw Agravayne. And it was at that point, in perhaps one of the best moments of my personal favorites of Arjhan, now he had a problem on his hands. Now he was giving Agravayne a few thoughts, at least. And it was at that point that you summoned forth your draconic spirit, the Bloodlord of the Ashen After, also known as yet another Arjhan. And your group hopped onto his back and flew into the air to then meet with Agravayne, who seemed like he, along with a set of Owlin abominations, was making his way towards your group. So that is where we are going to start off today's combat, on the back of a dragon going to fight a ancient black Draco Lich. I'd like for everybody to roll initiative.
19.
God damn it. 4.
Well, that's better than what you had last time, Cori.
I'll get there eventually.
7.
-1.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to put 0 to make it easier for
I'm
my
first on the
Google
second
sheet.
turn.
That's a way to look at it. That's a fun way to look at it. Okay, so that means that we are going to be at the top of the round with combat, which is going to be Arjhan. So Arjhan, it is you, and then I believe the Bloodlord goes directly after you as well.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm shooting a few times. I would like to use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark. I've cast it. I would like to shoot my crossbow
Okay.
at this dragon. 30.
That'll hit. Yeah.
Okay. Shit, where's my damage? What is my damage? Where's my damage?
What's your damage?
I'm changing it to a fire. Fire makes sense. So 18 plus 6, 24 for the first one.
Okay. Takes that 24.
Natural 20.
Bwomp, 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 bwomp.
Okay. Yeah,
And then do you get Dread Ambusher on this one?
I do.
Okay.
For the first round. So it's 25 plus 3, but I would like to use my final. Shit, no, he's not my favorite foe. Never mind. So that was 28 points of damage on the second one.
Okay.
And then for the third one.
And then you rolled 2 dice for the hunter's mark, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I rolled a 1 and a 2. Okay, third one. 26.
26 still hits.
For 17 points.
Okay.
The Blood Lord is going to use his movement to, which is 60 feet. Oh, can we get within range? Or...
Yeah, you'll be able to get within range.
To make a rend attack. Which I definitely have somewhere. I definitely do not have somewhere. Spell attack modifier to hit 1d6 plus 4 plus spell level, so 1d6 plus 9. This is a 5th level spell. Spell attack plus 9, but I can't click on it. Okay. 17 plus 9.
26 hits. Yep.
For 15 points of slashing damage.
That sounds right.
Piercing damage.
Okay.
Second attack. Also 26. For 14 points of piercing damage. And does he get to do the thing on his turn as well?
A breath weapon?
And it uses breath weapon. Okay. 30-foot cones. Definitely trying to get it. Agravayne. Can it also get Owl and Abominations?
It would be able to get one of them.
Okay. Is the Blood Lord locked to acid, or does it work as the spell where
it works as the spell? Yeah.
Okay. So it is also going to go fire.
Okay.
We'll
say it's a really sick looking green flame.
Doug, what you doing? I need a save.
Okay. Of what variety?
A great variety. Dexterity. DC 17.
He got a 16.
Cool.
And then the Owlin.
9 points of fire damage on a failure.
Okay. Owlin also fails, so they will both take 9.
Cool. I will be right back.
Okay. Okay.
I just saw the pictures of the owls.
Oh, on the Jamboard?
Choice.
I'll post that picture in questions for the courts. For sure that will end up going in there. Okay, so next up is Agravayne, and Agravayne has taken quite a bit of damage. So they are going to look at your group who have clustered up on the back of this dragon, and you see he rears back and just like unleashes this cone with this ancient draconic breath. So with that in mind, I am going to need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
+5.
He's using his breath weapon. So I need
Is it a
dexterity
You're at
saving throws.
advantage, LB, because you can see it.
I know.
Is it a magical effect?
Thanks,
It is
Mom.
not. It is a draconic breath weapon.
I
gotta
got
ask.
13.
You said +5?
Yes.
+5 for me, baby.
18.
Okay, so 18 from Arjhan.
Does
13.
Bloodlord has to make it 2?
Let's just say no for Caelum.
Okay.
9.
Okay, so all 4 of the 4 keeps. Or that was the wrong dice.
Yeah, Bloodlord fails.
Okay. And god damn it, Swift. You had one job.
Being
Did
swift.
jump on the dragon?
So all members that are atop of this dragon are going to be taking 62 points of acid damage.
Ooh.
I'm going to use a reaction to absorb element.
That's a good idea.
Bloodlord is resistant,
Okay.
so he won't immediately die.
Woo.
Okay.
E1 if you have it. Have it.
Wait. Cool. 60. I'm going to reactive resistance to also only take 31.
Okay.
And then I'm gotta I gotta do my con save.
Uh-oh.
+5.
Wait, question. Because you would cast Hunter's Mark earlier. While on the back of the dragon. So if you want, we can just backtrack on the Hunter's Mark if you wanted to keep the dragon up.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Give yourself
I
that
would
spell
like
slot
to-
back. Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
Are you
Are you sure about that? That's why.
It was
31 damage in total. So you need a 15.
I'm trying to remember my Hunter's Mark damage.
Hunter's Mark was a total of 3 and then 9. So I have that.
I think there was one more. So like 15 points.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. You have all your rolls in the game log.
But the last one for the 9, that was but that was a
Dread
DC
Ambusher?
78 that I rolled at the
Okay.
same time.
Gotcha. Okay. Then I should have the math right on this. So, we're good.
Thanks D&D Beyond for the game log.
Okay, so then con to keep the dragon up.
22.
22? Okay, cool.
So yeah, I'm good.
Excellent. So then that was Agravayne's action. It is then, or he's then going to fly around, who would provoke or actually, yeah, he would, because you caught him in mid-flight, so he is just going to be, I think he'll actually like stay where he is. And he'll kind of like rear back in order to do this breath weapon. So that is going to be it for his turn. Next up is Swift as the 10 wins, who is feeling feisty, and he is going to make a jump, an attempt to jump onto the back of Agravayne. So he's going to need to make it's kind of like a grapple. He's going to be making an athletics check to jump from from one dragon to the other. And you can see he just has this like wild look in his eyes. Like he got the taste for adventuring again. He's totally about this. Swift, why did you roll a nat 1 when I needed you to look really cool for my friends? So Swift misses. And he is going to fall. However, thankfully, he is a monk, so he is going to use his reaction to slow fall and land on his feet. But you see
a cat does.
just and then. But it's still like, have you ever seen a cat fall and their tails are just fucking going wild, like trying to find the stabilizing point? That's Swift on the way down. And then you just see him sort of like land and tumble into the brush.
What did he fail when trying to jump on that dragon?
An athletics check. He got a nat 1.
I see. Carry on.
Yep. So
It's fine. He has 9 of them.
So that is Swift's turn, because now he's on the ground. He used, that would have been his movement. In his reaction, let me see. Yeah, he is going to grab a rock, throw it. I think. Just try and make a ranged attack against Agravayne. He doesn't hit. That's okay. Just see this rock like soar from where Swift fell. But he is unable to get back up. So he has found himself on the ground. At this point, you all would be roughly about, I want to say about 80 feet in the air. And at the end of Swift's turn, it begins to rain. And the thing that you notice most about the rain is that the rain actually has like a saline quality to it. Like this is a weird, like this is like a salty rain. Next up though is going to be the 2 Owlin abominations. One that is slightly tilted because it has taken damage and the other has not. And they are going to fly up to the sides of where your group is. And they also have breath weapons. So they are 2 blue ones, as they are going to be retching out these kind of electric cones as they rear back to Dome Belch. So I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
+5.
Let's just say no for Caelum again.
Okay. So dexterity saving
13.
throws from the lot.
16. Jesus Christ, Arjhan!
Hell yeah!
Dex build.
We got nat 20 for Arjhan.
Okay.
And natural 1 for Arjhan.
Okay. So the first breath weapon comes in and is going to be dealing 33 points of lightning damage.
Dragon is dead. Dragon is dead.
Okay. We're all 80 feet up in the air.
I used my reaction to use Absorb Elements. I do have Feather Fall.
Wait, how
but it has
how
to be
many?
My turn.
80? 80? Arjhan, you have wings. You're fine.
No. How many points of damage?
It was 33 in total.
It's half of 33.
Half of 33 would be 17.
Dragon is not dead. He has 2 hit points.
Okay.
I'm on a roller coaster here, bud.
Okay.
Draconic Spirit, he's resistant to all the chromatic types. Resistant
Incredible.
to all of them, so.
So there is the second Owlin that also does have its breath weapon.
Dragon will be dead.
Okay. So I still need another round of Constitution saves.
Wait, Constitution.
Con
oh.
save?
Or
Dex.
Dex.
Save.
Dex. Sorry.
Also, how many points of damage did I just say? 17. Okay, never mind.
Gwen failed.
Does
Plus
a
5.
I'm a
20...
failure. Oh, I still failed. Like,
Okay.
if I don't have plus 14 to my rolls, I'm not doing shit.
Okay.
I also failed.
14 for Bloodlord.
Okay.
28 for Arjhan.
The 14 was what you needed on this one.
Caelum passed!
However, on a success, you are taking half of 34. On a failure, you take the full 34.
Dragon is dead.
17, 18? No,
17.
17.
So, again, 80 feet up in the air. The thing that was holding you and keeping you afloat has vanished. Does anybody have any means to stay in the air?
I got a
God.
plan.
Okay, so Arjhan can fly, so that's a solid. Gwen, you fall down. Caelum, you fall. Cori, you fall. And that will be 24 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall.
I'm down.
Is that? Are we gonna hit the ground before we can do anything?
You fall instantly.
It's 80 feet, right? In
Yes.
the air?
It's an 80-foot drop.
Okay. How much damage?
It was a total of, let me check, 24 points of bludgeoning.
Owie zowie.
Cori, does your armor not reduce bludgeoning?
Oh, it reduces it by 3. That's not going to help me when I have 11 hit points.
I gotcha. I can pick you up.
Okay, so that was it for the 2 Allens, so... Group is nice and bundled down below. Swift is off to the side. Gwen, it is your turn.
Okie dokie. Gwen is going to run to get beneath this thing. Am I within 90 feet of it?
Yeah. You
Okay,
are, because
I'll-
you fell 80 feet from, like, being 5
Yeah.
away. So if you just went underneath, you could...
Gwen's going to move so that nobody is around her. She's going to tiny rage. And then she is going to sort of do a yeah and use Thunder Step.
Okay.
And she's going to get on this thing's back.
Okay, sounds good. So, Gwen, you are on the back of Agravayne. I'd like for you to make a athletics or acrobatics check in order to maintain hold on its back.
Okay. That's a 25.
Okay.
Okie dokie. And I can't action surge unless I attack. I'm remembering, right?
Action surge, you don't have to attack in order to action surge.
Take one additional action. Okay, so I'm going to use an action surge, and I'm going to grapple this motherfucker.
Okay.
Bring it down! Bring it down!
So, it is a gargantuan size, and you are
You heard
tiny.
I'm gonna try and basically I'm gonna grab one of its wings
Small.
and
Small.
yeah, small. I am medium, right?
I'm pretty sure this thing flies magically.
I think so.
Does it fly magically?
Look, the wings are torn to shit.
It's fair. It doesn't have a fly speed. I guess I'm gonna try it anyways, but
Okay.
Live your best life.
because that's what Gwen would try to do, is try to like bend one take basically what she's gonna do is she's gonna grab it at the base of one of its wings and like pull up on it so that like she's kind of walking the wing back to like pin it to its back.
Okay. So this would be, I would guess, a contested strength check.
Probably.
So strength versus strength, but you're
Sure.
raging,
I am raging.
which is helpful.
Yeah. Oh, mother goddamn trucker. How is an 18?
That's actually better than the ancient Black Draco Lich, who got a 3 on the die, which gives it a total of 11 for its opposed
Jesus
strength.
Okie dokie.
So Gwen, you pull it, and fucking Agravayne just, what is this? And just like starts like careening out of the air while like trying to fly. And there's just this halfling like in almost like stop hitting yourself. Yeah, you're screaming loud, like trying to drive this ancient.
Doctor Strangelove.
Ride the bomb.
He's just like doing a circle down like those fucking little twisty
Yeah.
things.
And we will say that since you guys fell the 80 feet, that Agravayne now will be taking that same amount of damage from the fall as you force him down, and he will take 33 points of bludgeoning damage as you drive him into the earth.
Get wrecked.
All right, so Gwen, do you have anything else that you can do?
Nah, that's it, bro.
Okay, sounds good. You're raging, you're feeling the heat. Cori, it is your turn.
All right, time for a death saving throw. $14.
14? Okay, that is a success.
End turn.
Okay, at the end of your turn, Agravayne does not like this small individual on its back, so it is going to use, or he is going to use a tail attack against you, Gwen. Using one of his legendary actions, that is a 25 to hit.
It hits.
Okay, that is going to be for a total of 13 points of bludgeoning.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. I can take that.
Sounds good. So that was the end of Cori's turn. Caelum, it is your go.
I imagine Caelum landed right next to Cori.
Yeah.
And he's trying to shake him awake. Grimaces. Oh, this is gonna suck. He folds up his sleeves and you can see that like they're blackened all the way up to the elbow, and he's just gonna rub his hands together, shout clear, and cast a life transference into Cori.
Okay.
Cori, you heal for 102.
Holy
Oh my
shit!
god!
Calum goes down, his heart stops.
Motherfucker!
Because I took 51 points of necrotic damage.
Jesus Christ.
It's fine.
D&D.
You have the healing.
Yeah, but that only helps if I can survive until my next turn.
We're far enough away. It's fine.
Okay. So, Tarlane is then going to use, seeing as how Gwen is still on its back, another tail attack on the barbarian that is currently atop him. For 17 to hit.
That still hits.
Okay. Sounds good. And that is for 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm fine.
Okay. Next up, Arjhan.
Oh god.
Or, sorry, no, it would be lair action. Not Arjhan just yet. So lair action fires off. And the pools of water that are around this battlefield, you see actually swell up as Agravayne's eyes glow. So I need Caelum, you would automatically fail the strength save. Cori, I need you to make a strength save. And Gwen, I need you to make a strength save.
12.
12? Okay, so that is a failure.
I have not rolled over 10 this entire combat.
The natural 20 for a
Okay.
31.
So Gwen, this salt water like brushes up onto you, and you have this moment of like, Umberlee's not taking me, and neither are you. Like, the water like tries to like take you away. Cori, you are going to be pulled 20 feet away from your party and knocked prone. Caelum is also moved 20 feet and will remain prone.
Which direction?
If you look at the jam board, I've moved you.
So I'm 40 feet away from Caelum?
Effectively, yes.
Fuck.
It's going great.
Arjhan, it is now your turn. Arjhan, you are still up in the air.
Draw his air.
Okay.
Higher?
So
Not Gwen. That's not what Gwen would say.
I'm going to shoot Caelum.
Perfect.
Double tap me, baby.
4d4 plus 4.
Okay.
As I use a potion of greater healing.
Oh, okay. That's a 15.
You're alive.
I'm alive.
Ow.
I'm going to use my dragon. Anything on dragon.
The only
Gwen
thing on dragon is Gwen.
Gwen on dragon. Okay, I should not use hail of thorns.
The Owlin are also still in the air with you.
They're on me.
No, they're up in the air. So it's like level playing field. Like all of your friends are down on the ground with Agravayne. The Owlin have not descended down to the ground. They are still up 80 feet with you.
Oh, I don't care about that.
Okay.
Favorite foe.
Favorite foe. Yep.
And I would like to shoot.
Shoot away.
33.
33 hits.
Where is favorite foe? There it is. Okay. Uh, 18 points of fire damage.
Okay.
I would like to use my bonus action to vanish, or use Nature's Spell, so invisible.
Sounds good. So you go invis. It is now Agravayne's turn. And that is 5 on the recharge die. So you see that like deep purple innate lich-like energy course through Agravayne once again. As he rears back and looses yet another one of these horrendous acidy breaths. So there's a 90, or no, because he does not have a cone, is a 90-foot line that is 10 feet wide. So he has to play favorites, and I don't think that he would. However, his breath weapon has recharged in this sense. So what he is going to do is that I think he is going to focus on the creature on his back that is preventing him from flight. So, Gwen is going to make several attacks towards you. He's going to bite. Does an 18 hit?
Does.
Okay. Sounds good. So you are going to be taking 21 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And 10 points of acid damage.
And how many points?
10. And Gwen, as Agravayne bites into you with these large draconic claws, you can feel that there is something inherently wrong with his bite. I need you to make a Constitution save.
All right. Is this a poison?
It is not.
Ooh. Okay. Is it a spell?
It is also not.
That's a 1. However, I am lucky.
You are.
That's a 21.
Okay.
Nope, that's a 9. No. 23. I can do math.
23. Okay, so Gwen, as the teeth sink in and then release, you look down and you can see that they're like much in the same way as when you saw victims of the Iskin, the vampires of the north, how they like have like that almost necrotic spider web out of where the bite is.
Ooh.
These draconic teeth that sank into you are leaving roughly the same kind of markings. And you are just able to like flex through it like you've had stronger beer. Fuck this guy.
Absolutely.
but you are able to withstand the bite. Next up, he still has 2 claw attacks, so he is going to make...
It's fine!
So he is going to make a claw towards you.
Okay.
For a 22 to hit.
That hits.
For 17 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And the second claw for 16.
That means...
But it was a natural 1 for the attack. So because it meets and was a natural 1, he will not hit you.
The fact that he has to get a natural 1 to just meet my armor class. Okay.
Not like
Thank
he's an
you,
ancient
Isidore.
black
fine.
Dracolich. He's doing his heckin' best.
Oh boy.
So that is
It's gonna be great.
Agravayne's turn. Next up is Resident Good Boy.
Yeah, huh?
And you
I'm
hear
last.
tappa, 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 and shooting out from the brush where they had fallen last turn, you see Swift just down close to the ground, eyes wide, full zoomies. And they are going to rush up to you, Caelum, and they are going to also give you a potion of greater healing.
Oh.
And Swift is, like, you can see that, like, if he could blush through his fur, like, he fell and then immediately started hitting the sauce.
Thanks.
Just try it, drink up. Or, that's not his voice at all. Just try it, drink up, make sure that it's delicious, yeah. And then he leans in and whispers, it tastes like cherry.
Okay.
So that is Swift's action. And then as a bonus action, let me just check here real quick. Yeah, he's going to take a couple steps aside from you, Caelum, and he is going to use a key point to do a patient defense. So in case anybody gets near him, he'll be able to at least have a little bit of help on that one. Next up are the Owlins. Let us see if they regain their retch abilities. They do not. So they are seeing that there is somebody up in the air with them. They are going to fly over towards you, Arjhan. Okay, so
I am invisible.
right. So they do not see you. Instead, they see yummy-looking morsels on the ground. So Caelum, one of these Owlin, is going to come down, the one that was previously injured, and he is going to try and make some attacks towards you.
Okay.
Reaches out with a claw to try and hit you for a 22.
Wait, let me just double check something real quick. If I'm attuned. Oh, what? Why is that not applying?
What are you looking for?
I was wondering if my animated shield was on. We could say that I popped that on, right? Yep. Cool. Yeah, 22 will hit.
Okay, 22 hits. They are going to forego doing damage to you. And instead, they are
Oh.
going to grapple you.
Yeah. Okay.
And now that you are grappled, they are going to try and bite you. That's a 9. As you see their owl beak, like, "Rah!" and then go down to, like, dig into your shoulder, but, like, your animated shield just, pop.
Dude, seriously?
No. And that is all that they are able to do. Or let me just check. Ba-ba. Yeah. Okay, so that is all that it is able to do on that one's turn. The next one sees Cori by its lonesome and is going to go down and try and make a claw attack towards you for 23.
Let me double check. Too many tabs.
Too many tabs.
That's too many tabs. It matches.
Okay. So, with the meat, they are also going to instead attempt to grapple you instead of dealing damage. And then they are also going to rear back to try and do a heckin' bite. But they get a 20, and you said your AC is 23, correct?
It's 22.
22. Okay, they still got a 20, so not enough to meet that AC. But they are all, like, Caelum has one that's, like, grappled him, trying to bite at him. You have one that's grappling you, trying to bite at you.
If Cori looks over to Caelum, he looks just slightly inconvenienced.
Okay, then at the top of then after the Allens, Gwen. Gwen, you are still
Right.
on Agravayne's back, and Agravayne has, like, twisted their long head around to try and, like, bite out towards you. And you can see that they are, like, rearing and ready to go with a breath weapon at any point.
Gwen is going, like, just bloodied, like, bite marks. There's, like, just blood flowing all over her. She is, like, sweating and holding on for dear life onto this thing. And she says to Agravayne, "You want to fight? I'll give you a fight." And the runt axe starts to glow as she brings forth her chieftain companions and summons 9 berserkers.
Jesus Christ. Okay, and the berserkers, do they all act individually or directly after you?
Well, they can all act directly after me. I've already
Okay,
rolled
thank
everything
God.
for them.
Okay.
So do you want to give me the AC? The lowest is I have 9, 15, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24.
22 hits, everything above also hits.
Okay. So that is 22 hits, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me just All right, so that is 37 points of damage
Okay.
as 3 of them make purchase. But,
Sounds good.
Yes, 3 of them.
Okay.
So these Goliath spirits come forth from Gwen's back and start running on the back of this creature, and their axes and spears and whatever start just digging onto this thing, going for the head, going for the tail, going for the wings.
Agravayne lets out a cry of agitation.
That's fair. Gwen looks really rough, guys. So that's my action.
Okay.
Boy, I don't think there's much I could do as like a bonus or anything right now. I will use I'm gonna use my bonus action to second wind, not that it's gonna make much of a difference. To gain 14 HP back.
Nothing to scoff at.
That's true. Well, maybe 1 to 2 hits there.
Okay.
That's Gwen's turn.
All right, so Gwen, at the end of your turn, being completely surrounded by these individuals, by all of your
ogres travel all over this bitch.
Oh yeah, everyone's just trying to run rampant. Agravayne is going to flex his wings and is actually going to try and beat them downward. So everybody within 15 feet of the dragon needs to make a dexterity saving throw. So the only people that actually are affected by this is Gwen and all 9 of your chieftain's companions.
Okay. Hold for rolls, please.
So how are y'all doing today? I'm all right.
Yeah, right. Oh God, I forgot I used the goopy one.
Ew. Like the sanguine dice or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
please go away, dice.
They got a
Well,
lot
can I
of
not
complaints about those dice.
Can I not see all of the rolls? Is there a way for me to see all of them?
At the top, there should be right next to the little anvil. There's a campaign, indoor adventures. There's the game log.
Yeah,
little
but
blue
it's only
dot
showing
on
me
it.
the first 3.
If you hover over it, it's not telling you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, and that's a dex save?
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2. Well, I have to make it smaller so I can
I'm pretty
see.
sure 3 of them make it.
Yeah. I think, let's see, there's a natural 20, a 17. The rest are 16. What am I looking for here?
So the natural 20 makes it.
Good. Okay, cool. Gwen's gonna roll.
Are you adding their
Oh!
fire too?
That's a double natural 20!
Okay.
Nice.
For 21.
Excellent.
I want to take a picture.
All right. So if you make the saving throw, you are not knocked prone. And you will also not be taking 19 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okie dokie. 19 for all of them?
Yes.
Except for 1. We'll make it Grayskull.
And then Agravayne is going to fly.
He's still grappled.
He can still move half of his flying speed. So he's basically going to pop up, and then you're going to drive him back down to the ground again.
Okay.
He's just trying to get out
I
of
thought
this
the
situation.
I thought the movement speed... grapple creature's movement speed becomes 0.
So you can't grapple something that is gargantuan
Okay, fair.
when
Makes
you
sense.
are small.
Well, small. Okay.
Yes,
They-
you had one
they can-
wing
I give-
on.
I give big hug.
This big.
They can only be one size
Size
category
category.
larger than you.
Yes.
That's fair. That's
He
fair.
is 3.
Yeah, so you are unable to grapple him, but you
Fair.
are
Actually,
you are not knocked off of his back. You are going
Right.
for a ride on this ancient black dragon.
Oh boy. It's me and Grayskull.
Yeah, I will say, I'll give you that. I'll say Grayskull's on their back as well. But Agravayne is going to actually pop over here next to Swift. So that way he can see the 2 Owlin, Cori, and Caelum all in a nice juicy line.
Yeah, ruh-roh.
But that is the end of Gwen's turn that his legendary action fires off. So Cori, it is your turn.
Coolio.
Currently grappled by this Owlin abomination who's trying to bite at you. And his
I'm so
saliva's coming out.
Terribly grappled by this Owlin abomination. I'm going to bonus action phase step away from him. 30 feet into Caelum's direction. And then I'm gonna run like maybe 20 feet this way, just sort of like hanging out like in a non-line sort of way. And then I'm going to use my Blessing of the Mantle. And I'm going to spend 12 hit die to heal every ally within 120 feet of me.
Okay.
That's going to be 78 hit points, and they
Nice.
also gain 12 temporary hit points as well. That's for everyone. All of you.
Is it ever like my berserkers as well?
Do they count as creatures?
Yes.
Yes.
It's everyone.
Oh.
Am I close enough?
120 feet? It's
Am I
everyone.
close enough?
Yeah.
I have to make a new category for this.
How many?
78.
78 hit points,
Okay.
12 temporary hit points.
And I think Agravayne, like, his eyes just sort of, like, narrow. Like, what is this?
Magic, bitch!
Cori's doing like a power of Grayskull sort of thing. And then she looks at Caelum and says, "Next time, leave the healing to me."
You were down!
Incredible. Okay. Then, Cori, anything else on your turn?
The action bonus, that's it, baby!
Okie dokie. Next up, the wizard.
Where is Agravayne in relation to me?
If you look at the gem.
We have a map.
Yeah,
I
look
know,
at the
but
visual
is he,
aid.
He's-
is he
he's-
up? Is he
No,
down?
he's on the ground. Because
Oh.
Gwen has been keeping him grounded.
cool. This is gonna be hilarious. Bonus action, Blessing of the Raven Queen onto his back.
I'll just swap in what dragon you rode at the beginning of this game.
This one's not gonna disappear when we lose concentration.
Hey, are you my Uber?
I didn't lose concentration. He fucking
just
died.
All right.
Well, in
Time for
that case,
some-
this one will die too.
Caelum
die
is going to shout to Swift and Arjhan to take care of the Owlin. And he's going to use True Polymorph on himself.
Okay.
And he's going to True Polymorph into a Clay Golem.
Okay.
So basically his armor and skin like just terracotta up. But
Do
that's my
not-
bonus in action, so...
I have a
Do
question.
not kill him.
Whoops.
That's what Arjhan shots back at you whenever you tell him to go yowling.
How big is a clay golem?
Large.
All right, just curious.
So if Gwen wants this, well, no, huge, and then gargantuan, and then there's colossal.
Okay. Then at the end of Caelum's turn, Agravayne is going to use his last legendary action to do a tail attack against you.
Okay.
That is going to be for 31 to hit,
Hits.
for a total of 20 points of bludgeoning damage.
Immune to damage that is not magical.
Very interesting. The DM will remember this.
Clay golems can solo a Tarask.
Wild. Okay.
Damn it.
So that was end of Caelum's turn. Next up is the lair. So you see Agravayne look towards you, and they get a wicked grin about them. And as their eyes begin to glow, you see that, Caelum, the magical effect that is on you begins to almost drift away. I need you to make a Constitution save for me.
What is this for?
This is the lair action Spell Siphon.
24?
24? Okay. So, Caelum. I'm made of clay! Fuck off! You are immune at this, on this turn anyway, to the Spell Siphon ability. And the way layer actions work as well, he won't be able to do it again next turn, obviously.
Knights in the Courtyard.
Okay. Sounds good. Next up, Arjhan. Arjhan, you are the only one in the air right now.
But he's invisible.
Well, I am no longer invisible.
Because it's Sarah's turn.
How's Agravayne looking?
Agravayne looks rightfully bloodied.
Bloodied.
Yes.
Bloodied. Hi. How you doing? How you doing?
So everybody is on him right now.
Right now, the individuals that are on him and in direct combat with him are Swift as the Ten Winds, Grayskull, the summoned Goliath companion, Gwen, and Caelum. Cori is not anywhere near that. They bamfed out and are just sitting by themselves.
Okay.
But everyone else is all tuckered in close.
Okay. He is still marked as my favorite foe.
That is correct.
I'm putting away my crossbow. I'm getting out the crossbow that I had brought for me,
Okay.
and I'm going to start taking shots.
Okay. So Arjhan. Let me get...
So, my plan, since this is the crossbow that I was supposed to use to send Tylera to Tiamat,
Yes.
I'm hoping that this can redirect his soul if we kill him, so that it does not go to his Horcrux.
Yeah. That is a very good observation.
It is a plan.
As you use this crossbow and you kind of get the feel for it again, you will notice that there are two things that are different about it. And I understand that you are not attuned to the weapon. However,
I
or are you?
don't think the weapon needed attunement.
Because it has been sitting in your pile of treats. This weapon does have a few bonuses.
Okay.
It
Sure.
gains the Wakened property of a Dragon's Wrath weapon. And when you
Oh, that's for that.
I can
I'll look
yeah.
them up.
And when you look through the crosshairs of this crossbow, you gain a blind sight of up to 60 feet.
Okay, so it's a +2.
+2,
And
and when you deal
and
damage,
does
extra 2d6.
2d6.
Yep.
Okay. And another thing. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Let me fix this. Okay. 23 to hit.
23 just hits.
$24 points of fire damage. No.
Okay.
12 points of piercing damage. 12 points of piercing or fire.
Okay.
Second shot. Uh, 21. I have a thing.
Okay. What is the thing?
It is called Stalker's Flurry. I've missed with weapon attack, so I'm going to make another weapon attack as part of the same action.
Okay, yeah.
$22.
Okay, so 22 points of damage or 22 to hit?
22 to hit.
22 does hit.
Okay. $20 points of damage.
Okay. Sounds good. Alrighty. Alright, then anything else?
How's everybody looking?
I think Gwen's the most fucked up out of all of us. You mean
Fine.
yourself?
I'm fine.
Gwen, do you have a reaction?
I do. I'm sorry. Did I miss what? Do I need to take a reaction?
Do you want to? Because I'm going to cast Healing Word on you, and you can get 10 points of hit points back. And
Make an
if you
attack.
would like, you can use your reaction to take a weapon attack.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, can I do that if I'm grappling? I don't think I could do that while I'm grappling.
Again, you're not like
Right.
you're not grappling.
Technically
Yes.
grappling. Yeah. That is. Can I attack while I am disrupting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, it's up to North. We're in, weird territory here.
We are.
It's about to get weird.
I'll recklessly attack. So he will have advantage on me.
Okay.
Andor.
Okay.
Motherfucker. Does it? No, 21 doesn't hit.
21 does not, no.
22 hits, though.
22 does.
8 plus 14 is a 22. Okay,
Yes.
4. 11. 22 points of slashing and 8 points of fire.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so that was part of Arjhan's turn. Gwen got a reaction. Arjhan, do you have anything else, or was that action, bonus action? Okay. So with that, it is Agravayne's turn. And let me get this just to make sure. Okay, so Agravayne.
You know what? I didn't light my queer magic candle, so that's why this fight is going on.
Gotcha, I see. Agravayne is actually going to twist his head back towards the lot of you that are directly on his back. And he is going to spit out his acid breath, and he's just going to wash over his own back. As he is immune to acid damage. But Caelum, you, Gwen, and what's his name?
me,
Grayskull.
Gwen.
Grayskull.
You know what's funny about clay golems?
What?
They too are immune to acid damage.
Very funny.
In fact, I heal off of it.
It's almost like you chose that one specific.
It's like I chose this as a contingent against a Tarask.
Ah, yes, because we'll fight one of those eventually.
Eventually, when we hit 20.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Down Trask. Of
But fire.
worms.
Just cross it off.
Okay.
Just write down magic Tarask.
Tarask, quote, a wizard did it, end quote. Okay, so Gwen and Grayskull. What's that dex save?
Gwen's is a 17 and Grayskull's is, I'm assuming, +1. It is a 12.
Okay, so you will both be taking the full brunt of 66 points of acid damage.
Ooh, bitch. That's fine.
Okay. High-level D&D is wild.
That's low-level Pathfinder territory.
My berserkers have 69 normal.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So then it is Swift as the 10 wins. And he is going to try and make some unarmed strikes. That's a 2 on the die. That doesn't hit.
Bless.
That is a 19 to hit. That also does not work. His third attack also misses. So he is doing his best to just try and strike out against... or no, he would have had to 2 actions and then a flurry of blows. So he still has 1 more unarmed strike. No, he doesn't. He missed with all 4 of his attacks against this big old giant. That was his action and bonus action. Swift is not particularly keen on all that is currently happening here. At this point, it is the Owlin's turns. And the one that was on the ground that was grappled with Cori is going to see Arjhan. You did not go invisible at the end of your turn, correct?
Nope.
So it is going to fly up and try and attack you. That is for, or let's see if they get their breath weapons back. They do. It's always helpful.
Oh shit, here we go again.
So it is going to fly up, and it is going to use its breath weapon on you. So I need you to make a dexterity save for me.
25.
Okay, 25 is a success, so you'll take half of 29.
14.
And then this Owlin is going to go over to the cluster of the it's gonna go towards Cori with the cluster of Goliaths behind them. And it is also going to use its breath weapon. So Cori and all the Goliaths but Grayskull, I need dex saves from.
Those Goliaths are going to get a +5.
LB, you brought this on yourself.
What's my goal? Can you just tell me my goal here?
14.
Innovation.
14. Okay.
I do not make it.
Five of them do not make it.
Okay, so the ones who do not make it will be taking the full 31 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
This creature's elemental breath. All those who succeed take half of
31?
16. Right? You round up?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, it'd be 15 because it hasn't
You
hit
round
the
down.
32. Yeah, round down. Got there!
Eventually. We're all too gay to do math.
I'm not.
Then on Agravayne, or at the end of the Owlin's turn, Agravayne is going to try and use his wing attack again. So it'll be Swift, Caelum, Gwen, and Grayskull all need to make dexterity saves. This is a better dice for you, Swift. Woo! Swift is not knocked prone.
18?
Okay, 18 is not enough.
13. Gwen has 22.
So both of those actually fail, as Agravayne finally lifts himself up to free himself from your grasp. Those who failed take 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
No, I don't.
Okay. And now Agravayne is 40 feet up into the air. And then that was at the end of the Owlin's turn. Gwen, it is your turn.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so he is up in the air. He is no longer on the ground
That is correct.
where we can hit him.
Yes.
Solid. Cool. Cool. That takes away most of the things I was going to do.
Now, Gwen, didn't you recently get a specific item that would allow things to get closer to you? If you
Oh,
hit them?
right! The chain! I would like to use this. Hold on. This hand-woven basket from the Aarakocra?
No, not that one.
No, oh, sorry. Okay. So, is it within, how close is he?
He is 40 feet up in the air, so he is within the 60.
Okay. It's a thrown range of 20/40.
Okay, yeah, so he's long range to hit, so that's totally fine still.
So that's at, and if I roll, it's an average roll, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm rolling an attack with the runt axe.
Yes. If you would like, you can make it reckless.
I can. Don't need to.
Okay.
For 30.
Yep, that'll hit him.
All right. So, and then Scroll down to it so I know that. We could make when you hit a creature at an attack using a weapon change as you forget one of it. So he needs to make a DC 20 strength saving throw.
Yes.
I'll roll damage while he's doing that.
Okay, that is an 18. He's going to use one of his legendary resistances to not be dragged back down.
As he should. That is a that's 12 piercing damage, slashing damage, and 7 fire damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my second attack, and I'm gonna do the same thing.
Okay.
I don't think it's a weapon. When thrown, you may pull the change or return the weapon. Yeah, so. Oh, that's a 3. Okay, so I'm throwing it. It's at a disadvantage. So it's just So it's a straight throw.
Yeah, just a straight throw.
Okay. Okay. So that is a 17. Does not hit.
That does not hit. No.
Okay. And as a bonus action, my echoes don't travel with something, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
These are also barbarian spirits through your what would be considered a silvered horn, but is your axe. So they don't count as your echoes. Like, they can't fly. They are...
Correct,
yeah.
Right. But I could use my bonus action to manifest a different echo.
That you could.
But he is too far away. Okie dokie. That's it for me.
Okay, sounds good. So
all of the barbarians are just like, ha! Like following underneath it.
Like kids chasing a kite. Like,
yeah, it's like kids playing hockey. Like they just all circle around the puck.
Okay.
Can they have a prepared action?
Yeah, they for sure could.
To attack once okay.
Okay. So yeah, it looks like all of these Goliaths have a prepared action to attack the dragon as soon as it lands back on the ground. Cori, it is your turn.
I got an Owlin on me right now.
You do.
And there's one on Arjhan over there.
That one flew up into the air with him.
Ah, got it. Wait, is Arjhan in the air?
Arjhan has been 80 feet in the air since this entire combat started, because he did not follow with the rest of y'all.
This whole time. Okay.
He's
all right. Okay.
Moving. Like, he might be like 70.
Closer?
Yeah.
Closer now?
He's getting there, but he's gotta aim.
How do your hit points look?
My hit points are good.
Would it be terrible for you if you were to fall 70 feet?
No.
Okay.
You'd have 10 feet of clearance.
Yeah.
Sorry about this, Arjhan. Cori still has his sword up from doing the Blessing of the Mantle, and he's going to bring his sword down now. And in doing so, going to cast Control Winds and do a downdraft.
Okay.
Gonna center it here. And it is a 100-foot cube.
Okay. And does it require a save at all?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
But it only occurs at the beginning of creatures' turns.
Gotcha.
Let me read off the downdraft just so that we are aware of everything that's going on. You cause a sustained blast of strong wind to blow downward from the top of the cube. Ranged weapon attacks that pass through the cube or are made against targets within it have disadvantage on their attack rolls. A creature must make a strength saving throw if it flies into the cube for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there flying. On a failed save, the creature is knocked prone. Let me just double check and make sure I don't have any bonus actions I want to do. Oh. Very neat. Just now realizing that I could do that. Okay. Cool. I don't have any spell slots that I've spent, so quack. That's my turn.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, so that is Cori's turn. And you can see that Agravayne is like struggling to keep himself aloft at this point. Clay Golem Caelum. You're muted.
He's out of range. As a bonus action, I'm gonna dismiss my true polymorph and free action, dismiss polymorph. Look up at Agravayne, pull out Shao's sword, and it begins spinning in his hand as he casts a guiding bolt through it and sends the sword into Agravayne.
Hell yeah.
Does a 32 hit?
Yeah, that'd do it.
Yeah, for 30 points of lightning damage.
Okay. 30 points of lightning damage, and the next attack against him has advantage.
I'm gonna use, very selfishly of me, some meta magics
Okay.
to quicken out a firebolt.
Okay.
Caelum, you bastard. I'm gonna say a natural 20 hits, right?
Yeah, that'll do her.
So, oh man, I'm kind of giddy. 37 points of fire damage.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, Agravayne is looking fucked up at this point.
Essentially, Caelum sends the sword into Agravayne's chest, and then a firebolt slams into the hilt to drive it deeper.
And as that happens, you see that those like metallic flower petals that are on the hilt, they are just like radiating in bloom from the fire.
Finish him off! Finish him off!
All right, it is the layer action. So, Agravayne calls out for assistance.
No.
As two more of these owlins show up.
No.
However, it is Arjhan's turn.
At the beginning of my turn, I need to make a
Strength saving throw.
21.
You make it.
So what happened?
Nothing. You're good to go. Keep flying.
Oh no.
However, with the downdraft, ranged attacks do suffer a detriment, correct?
Correct. They're at
Ranged
disadvantage.
weapon attacks.
No, just ranged attacks.
Well, I mean, my attacks are going to need to come from a ranged weapon, so...
Hmm.
No, it's ranged weapon attacks. Okay.
Is that what it says?
Oh, sorry,
Yep.
I thought I muted myself.
No, that's
No,
fine.
you're right. It is ranged weapon attacks.
You know what? I'm gonna use the win. I'm gonna Zephyr Strike.
Hell yeah!
It's like a peregrine falcon dive using the wind and then swooping back up to uppercut.
Wait,
Agravayne.
hold on. First off, I need to double check something.
Okay.
What are the rules for reloading?
God, we haven't used those in so long.
Yeah, I haven't used this weapon in so long.
Don't you have Crossbow Master?
Reloading takes place
I don't
immediately
have
before
crossbow weapon.
firing as part of the free interact, similar to drawing a sword.
I have to reload it using a action or bonus action.
Yes.
So I'll use my bonus action to reload. I will not Zephyr Strike. Hold on. But it takes 2 shots. I can use 2 shots on a reload.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now, then I will. I mean, I guess I'll just shoot at disadvantage. Yeah. 24 will hit.
24 does.
Favored foe. Uh, 19 points.
Okay.
And second attack. 30.
30 hits. There's somebody playing like surf music out in the back of my apartment complex, and it's very weird to hear this fight culminating to that.
15 points.
15?
Mhm.
Arjhan. When you sentence Agravayne to return back to his mother, what does it look like?
Arjhan is just like he's struggling up against the wind and everything. And he's just like looking at Agravayne, and I mean there's just anger and pity. And he's just letting out an exhale as the bolts go out, as he's hoping that he can disrupt him and send him back before whatever his mother and Discovery and everything else did, all these things that they did to tether him back to this world before it can be redone, before it can do any more damage.
Okay.
But this isn't what he wanted.
Okay. So, as your bolt strikes against Agravayne, he begins to tumble down from the sky and no longer able to control his wings enough to actually keep himself aloft. He falls down onto the ground, and you can see that the fight is already gone. But the Goliaths are just like kicking the shit out of a corpse at this point. Just like, yeah! Doing their best to, again, like just kick him while he's down. And Agravayne, you can see like that purplish energy, that deep light that settles within him begins to flicker. And he's trying to get back up and stand to put on some sort of show. And as that bolt has struck, you see that it begins to glow. And the lot of you begin to hear a familiar song, but that song seems to act almost as a tuning fork, that it is connected to this bolt as the bolt begins to vibrate as a large portal opens behind Agravayne. As it does, you can see that there is what appears to be the mountainside of Avernus, of the first layer. And near it, you can see that there is a river rapidly running through. Through this gate, through this portal, you see 5 chains of distinct coloration. Red, blue, white, green, and black wreath themselves over Agravayne and his active body as they begin to pull him back. And you can see that these chains are connected to the river itself. And as Agravayne is like clawing, like trying to not return in this way, you just see that on the other end, past this gate, is the Queen Mother, is Tiamat. And she says, and it echoes through this gate, "You will drag for 1,000 years." And you watch as Agravayne is pulled, soul and all, into the river Styx. And as he's pulled, the queen bows to you, Arjhan. And the gate closes. And as this gate closes, that is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. We ran a little bit long. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless there's a grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. We're back.
Simon!
Ah!
So, you know, I'm a proprietor of dad jokes. I tell dad jokes, but I don't have kids. You can call me a faux pas.
I love that. Thank you. I feel blessed this day.
Damn it, this was not how it's supposed to go.
No, I love dad jokes. Can't get those past me. So, with that, last we left off at the before going to break, the chains of Tiamat have wrapped around Agravayne, pulled him in, portal closed, and all that remained was Xiao's sword once again. But combat is over. The Owlin that were following Agravayne's control under his command, as Agravayne leaves, those reddish lights in their eyes actually dim, and you just see as these Owlins seem to have been somehow under Agravayne's control. But there is still this saline rain that is coming down. The sky is heavily overcast. And Swift just sort of like kind of like straightens up his shirt collar and is just like, I knew that we would win, yeah.
All thanks to you, buddy.
He does a deep bow. And he is going to go and just start checking the perimeter, see if there's anything left.
Caelum's gonna pop that potion that Swift gave him. Hand it over to, hand it over to Gwen.
I'm great. I'm fine. That was fucking awesome!
Yeah! And the barbarians are all like cheering behind you.
War!
Are there any survivors?
Give me a bit. I'll double check.
Kylan, thank you for the raid.
Yeah, once Gwen gets the potion, Caelum will start looking around for any survivors.
Cori will assist.
Okay. Yeah, and as your group is like swift as well, and you begin to kind of scan through the area, and Gwen, you go from like war, oh, the war's over. I guess like let's.
All right, yeah, no, go
try and find.
Yeah, check for survivors. Check for survivors. See if we can heal.
I would like to locate creature.
Yeah.
Aarakocra.
Okay. Yeah.
1,000 feet, but I'll do some perimeters.
Yeah. So with the help of your locate creature, Arjhan, you are, as you kind of like track down these beads, you see that there are remnants of quite a few Aarakocra. Others, like your detect creature, like Aarakocra, and then there is just like mostly dissolved bones in acid. You end up finding Aisha, Xiao's father, and you can see that like from his right shoulder down to his waist is just gone. Whatever was there had either got torn away by some kind of wicked maw, or he was caught in a acid splash, but he is no longer with us. However, as you continue to look, Arjhan, you do find Xiao. And Xiao, you see that one of his wings is broken, but he's breathing faintly. He's unconscious, but he's still within, like, you feel like if you left him to these elements, most likely something would probably eat him, being unconscious and heavily injured, but he is still breathing.
It's a healing word.
Yep, healing word, and there's just this, and you can see like the breathing, while shallow at first, is getting better, and the break that's on his wing is like it's knitting itself, albeit slowly.
I want to get people up and get them back home.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and Arjhan, you kind of like you find Shao. Do you alert the other members of your party that you've found Shao?
Did we use the rings already? Did we use the sendings?
I don't
No.
think for today.
Not today, no.
I'll tell them that I found Asia and Shao.
He's almost done. You're like, I found Sean. He's like, it's Shao. But yeah,
Oh God!
but yeah, you found.
Save your strength, Sheen.
God, as soon as you say that, I just think Jimmy Neutron. But yeah, so the rest of you are finding these Aarakocra, these other members. The Goliaths are also doing their best to like find Aarakocra that are like there are some that are like leaned up against a tree, sword planted in the ground, and there is like a series of Nightsworn that are just laid waste in front of them, and they are heavily breathing, and it looks like they have just done their best to survive this encounter. They will probably get some sort of honorific when they go back to the Brightwardens' shimmering Eyrie. And as you're all looking, Gwen, you see that there are drag marks in the dirt. And as you follow them, you see that there is Sigurd, who has pulled himself into what appears to be a small puddle of this saline rainwater. He is not breathing, as he has purposefully put himself face down into this water.
Motherfucker.
But Gwen, as you continue to watch, you see that there is almost like a wave that begins to rush and roil from inside of this puddle. And it grows and encompasses Sigurd and seems to pull him back. And as he is pulled into this otherwise small puddle, it looks like he is sinking into the ocean. And he is gone.
Rest in peace. Bitch. It's a
Doug
callback.
didn't like that.
All right, but yeah, with all of your help, you're able to find, it looks like out of the amount of forces that were brought, the Nightsworn themselves, they lesser tiered ones, these ones that weren't some kind of abomination, were laid to waste by the Brightwardens, effectively. However, it was then the Owlin abominations that then caused a good 3/4 of the Brightwardens there to end up with Agravayne's help to kind of meet their end. So their numbers are few and far between of the roughly like of the 1,000 plus that attended, or not even 1,000 plus. Like that's a grand army for what their numbers were. Like out of 250, there are 50 soldiers left, and they are doing their best to kind of like. You do see that they aren't necessarily like wanting to leave this battlefield. Like they ask, and Shao asks as well, is it over? Did we win?
Yeah.
And Shao nods and asks, my father.
Alive. He's alive, right? I didn't.
Mm-mm.
He's not.
No, he's missing
Okay.
a big chunk out of him. You could use some resurrection magic if you wanted to.
Still fresh.
Not within like Revivify fresh.
Sorry, I heard we found Aisha. I thought, okay.
No, there was a description
Yeah,
after that.
He's not.
And Shao will nod, and he will shout to the remaining forces. We bury them here. And this small group is going to take their time. If, like, knowing that the battle is over, they are going to begin digging graves. Except for Aisha, who shall, and anyone who else like wants, feels like, no, like this person deserves to return to the Shimmering Eyrie with us. They are going to start the process of digging warriors' graves.
Caelum is going to hand Shao back his sword.
And Shao looks almost ashamed that you hand him back his sword. And he says that his father would always get on his case about leaving it places where it shouldn't have been.
If I hadn't found it when I did, I wouldn't have been able to strike a blow against the dragon.
And he smiles as much as his Aarakocra beak will allow. And he puts a hand on your shoulder and brings you in for a hug, and like with his one good wing, like wraps it around your back. And he says thank you.
I kind of burnt the pommel a bit, but it'll scuff right out.
And he kind of like looks at it and says that he likes it better this way. It will act as a reminder of the cost of victory.
Shao, if there are any surviving Owlin, what do you want to do with them?
We ask them a simple question. To whom do they pledge their allegiance? If they pledge their allegiance to Nobu, is Nobu still alive?
Looks at the burnt remains of the tower.
Oh, it's not even burnt. Like, it's fucking melted down.
The melted remains of the tower. Shakes head.
Then I would do what my father would do. And we would take them. And we would allow them to join our ranks. As Brightwardens. Should they refuse? Should they hold allegiance to their now dead emperor? Let them rest with him.
All right. Fair is fair.
We will offer them a chance. Now, if you will excuse me, I must talk to my men. And he makes his way over to the remaining Brightwardens. Okay, so they are going to be digging graves. Do you assist in graves? Do you go back to the lab, investigate things around? What is the party's plan in this interim before the long trek back home?
I do want to go back to the lab.
Okay.
Caelum as well.
Cori's going to do everything he can to assist the survivors, healing or digging graves, whatever is needed.
Okay. And Gwen, you and your Goliaths?
Trying to find as many survivors as possible, and then after an hour, the Goliaths go away, and Gwen will regroup.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so after that hour of trying to find individuals, Gwen, you come back and Cori is actively helping the survivors. those who did survive the onslaught of a creature the likes of which this plane has not seen in a millennium and a half, you can tell that like they are all just like they don't know how they survived, but they are like, you can tell like in as good of spirits as they can possibly be given the scenario.
Yeah, Gwen will sort of like go up and like talk to individuals and be like, yeah, you guys fought so hard. Like, I've never seen someone put up a fight against a dragon like that. You guys were incredible. Like, trying to just bolster their, like, that was such a hard fight to go against, and you guys did it. There was a lot of people lost, but you were triumphant in the end, and like trying to sort of build morale a little bit in this.
Yeah, make a performance check.
Okie dokie.
You'll have advantage because you've been there before.
Okay. 13.
13, you can tell not a lot of them speak common. And your Ignan is not that good. Yeah. You're basically like speaking Simlish to these people, and they're like, I almost died today. Like, can I have a break, please? But they recognize, like, they remember you, and they do acknowledge, like, you can see, like, there are a lot of, like, hands on shoulders, like, head nods, like, thumbs up.
She'll go up to Zhao, just be like, that was a tough fight, man. You did a great job. You guys really held out there.
And Xiao, you can see, he had, like, you can tell he's distracted. But he just sort of like nods and tells you thank you. But what he is looking at as you're saying this is that the remaining Brightwardens are finding every weapon of their allies that they can, and they are just like putting them into a pile.
Yeah. I think Gwen will say something along the lines of, it was an impossible foe, something that no one of this realm has seen in countless years. I'm proud to have fought beside you and have helped, what I could in this battle. It should have been impossible, but you guys, we all did it.
And Xiao nods and says, when we return home, we will truly have earned our feast.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
I'm glad that we've made this friendship that should last many a lifetimes.
And he just sort of like squints his eyes like, you know what? You call spirits. That's fine. And like, yeah, he again nods and says thanks. And you can see that he is going to go towards where his father has been laid down, and he will just sort of like go to his knees, and he will spend some time with his father.
Gwen will approach the rest of the group, see how everyone is.
Okay. Yeah. Again, Cori is in the process of like assisting the 50 remaining Aarakocra. Arjhan, you and Caelum have gone back to the laboratory in order to do some investigating. So, well, the two of you are in there. I'd like for you both to make perception checks for me.
21.
20.
Okay. Yeah, so kind of looking around, a lot of what had been left here had either been burned down or destroyed, but kind of searching around through the different rooms, going into the laboratory proper, you do end up finding several interesting pieces of information. Caelum, what you end up finding is Tylira's spellbook, as it looks like she had left it as she vacated the plane, seeming not to have needed it anymore. And I will give you the rundown of all the spells that she had prepared and within that spell book. Arjhan, what you end up finding is a recipe. And this recipe is the way that you see it written out. And like when you find it, it's like inside of a drawer underneath a false bottom. It seems like this was very much secreted away. And this is a recipe for a potion that it states that if you were able to quaff it, if you were able to drink it, that you would turn into one of the kings of old. And it looks like it is written in Tylira's script. And from what your understanding is, from what you had seen Torjak hold, you are guessing that this recipe will lead to that.
What? Okay, based off the components and everything, first off, what are some of the ingredients? Do I know what sort of effect?
So it looks like it
have?
is the transmutation that polymorph is part of. It looks like a very customized polymorph spell. But the active ingredient looks like it is shavings from a dragon scale or dragon scale whole, written in parentheses.
And I did see that he had one.
Yes, you did. And it looks like the intent of this potion is I can't remember the actual name of the potion in the
Potion of Draconic Majesty.
Yes, and it appears to be the like ingredients list and all of the like actual notes given to create one of these.
What was the last thing that Torjak said to us?
Torjak said that he had absolutely no desire to worry about the Allen. He was going to take his research and take his notes elsewhere, and if you let him live, he would be out of your hair. He wouldn't want to be involved with you guys. You could even he even said that if you wanted to shoot him ascending and say like, hey, we're coming into this general area, are you there? He would clear out to just not be in your way.
Which means it's a season 2 problem.
This could happen again.
Sorry, what was that?
Torjak left with something. He could. This could happen again somewhere else. Shit.
So, what you're saying is we need to track him down to stop this from happening again. And I doubt giving him a sending saying, hey, where are you right now? It's probably not gonna fly.
I don't think so.
If we could get back to Shroudport, I might be able to scry on him.
It's gonna take us a while to get back to Shroudport.
Yeah. From what little we can recover here, could we see where they were in the process of creating the potion?
He looked from the general vibe of what you're able to see. Make a alchemical tools check.
I can.
I can assist Arjhan with that.
Yeah.
then.
It's been a while since we had science bros on duty.
So I have proficiency. What skill
Um,
or what
Let's say-
attribute?
wisdom or intelligence, whichever one you think would fit better. Because you are also a potion maker.
Potion seller.
Sell me your strongest potion
17.
17,
with advantage.
based off.
That was not with advantage.
Yeah, I'll be assisting you.
Well, that was a natural 1.
17 it is. So based off of the notes that you were able to recover and find about this potion of draconic majesty, you would think that Torjak was maybe 85% of the way done. It wasn't finished. It was not completed. And based off of what your understanding of Discovery having ignited everything before Torjak was able to leave, that Torjak, even though he is 85% complete, unless he has his own notes on the matter, will most likely have to start over.
Oh. Okay. He's not finished. He probably doesn't have the notes. It might take him. I mean, if he has to start from scratch, then we have some time. A lot of time. This is a very delicate process.
Caelum pulls a face. Give me a second. He's gonna use a 4th level spell slot for ascending, and he's gonna contact Discovery.
Okay.
Hello, Discovery. This is Owl. Perchance, how competent is Torjak when it comes to research,
And specifically alchemy.
specifically alchemy?
Never in my wildest dreams. I hope you're doing well. Torjak, with alchemy, effectively useless. That fell on the lady and myself. Why do you... Or I guess, why ask?
Turning to Arjhan, not even regarding the rest of the message. So Torjak is pretty incompetent when it comes to alchemy, so he's probably going to be looking for someone to help him out with this.
Well, it'd take a competent person half a year to make this.
So we've got about half a year, or more, considering he has to go looking for someone.
That's, again, the half a year from
Was
what...
with Discovery and
That is
Tylera.
with Discovery and Tylera, who knew what they were doing. Torjak has also been with Tylera trying to figure out this potion, the mechanics of this, for almost 2 decades. Because they had nothing to go off of. It has
We have
taken
a
him
while.
far too long to do something that now that you have the proper methodology for would take you, again, half a year at most.
Them's the breaks.
You also find one other document here in this laboratory.
What is?
It is a scroll that has been bundled up, and when you unfurl it, It shows land masses that you are unfamiliar with, and it says Aldera at the bottom, which you know is the continent across the sea. And you can see that there are like circles in the, like there's a red circle in the mountain, or in the mountains. There's a red circle over in the desert. There's a like another red circle in the forest down below, and question marks next to each of them. And next to the final one in the woods to the south, you can see one word written next to the questions. And that word says twins, question mark.
How about what? What does that mean?
It is in Tylera's handwriting.
He'll turn to Ken will turn to Arjhan. So, map of another continent. I'm assuming the circles are maybe draconic in relation.
Do that make any sort of sense?
Looking at them as they are, they don't have any kind of draconic bearing. It's not like you're seeing like, oh, if you like draw a line between them, it makes a long dragon, like that kind of thing. But looking at it where it says twins, question mark, one thing that Tylera had said during her testimony to Tiamat strikes you, which is when she was referencing having found the draconic egg that she would later use to create Arjhan, is that she believed at that point that she had found one of the last eggs. And you know, with Tylera, as to what she had been saying previously, is that she was on their way across the sea when they got stranded and stuck here.
So it does not seem like this is something that she's already done. It's
No.
something that she
was wanting
was
to
in the
do
process
and
of
was
tracking
never
down.
able to.
I assume I don't know enough about the geography to know how far this is away.
Yeah, having never crossed the sea fully, you are unsure. However, if you ever were curious, swift as the 10 winds has traveled across the sea. Alindra Stonemantle lives in Aldera. You have allies across the sea.
Caelum will hand the map to Arjhan. When all this is squared away, I guess we have a lot more investigation to do.
No, it does not.
Caelum will just put a hand on Arjhan's arm and
I took us away for moments.
there was no way you could have predicted this could have happened, Arjhan. This is not your fault. The Brightwardens knew what they were getting into when they decided to do this assault.
I know it's not my fault. But Agravayne was my responsibility. Or at the very least, it's hard for me to not feel responsible for him. I knew exactly what he was.
In the end, you took care of him. Now what we can do is use what time we have to help rebuild. If you do need to talk, we are here for you, Arjhan.
What else do we need to do here?
Finish burying the dead. Wait for the... Well, we were on our way to... Blink, blink. What the hell are we doing?
Did we need to do something with the Waystone?
Right. Well, I wanted to investigate the Waystone.
Okay. I don't know. I want to be here. I feel like we've done enough damage.
Okay. It can wait. Let's finish up and get out of here.
And he'll just like nod.
Okay. So yeah, the two of you make your way out of the laboratory and return to the rest of the party. And after your brief investigation with the Brightwardens that are left, it will take some time if they wanted to dig graves for every single soldier. But what they end up doing is that because there aren't, like, they can't find all of the weapons, they can't find all of the bodies, that sort of thing. What you see them doing is that they take the swords and they will actually remove the pommel. Because each of these pommels looks like they had like a different style crest on them. And by removing it, it's almost kind of like the equivalent of like taking dog tags kind of thing, where like that is enough for them to be able to return back. So after they have buried all of the dead that they can find and planted their weapon minus pommel next to them, the group of Aarakocra, some wounded beyond flight, others being able to take a light again, they are all willing to begin the long march back to the Shimmering Eyrie. And it took roughly about 5 days to get here. And that was just with the small group of you being able to move rather quickly through these woods. Again, some of these Aarakocra are able to fly, and and they say that they will return and tell the deeds of what has been done. And unless there's anything that you guys want to get into on the way back, this journey is not going to be interrupted. It's not going to be without on that sense.
For the most part, as they're traveling, Caelum is just going to set up multiple cabins so that the wounded Aarakocra can go and rest in them.
Okay. Yeah. Your curious cabin can fit how many individuals?
It can feed up to 900 people, baby.
Okay, there are 50 of them left.
Okay, well...
Yeah, you don't need to set up multiple. You can just
the one.
Just the one. And, like, they kind of, like, take/make an entire quarter, like, of this cabin for themselves. Like, styling their rooms the way that, is comfortable for them. You can see that they have like entertainment areas, that sort of thing. And throughout most of the journey, Xiao is very quiet. And when he ends up like going into the cabin, he does not spend much time with the others who survived, he's spending it very solitary in his room. But he is doing, and like when you kind of talk to him about it, he assures you that he's doing fine, but he still needs to practice his meditation. He still needs to practice his breathing exercises, and you can tell that on top of the loss that he has suffered, he is gearing up to be an authority figure. An authority figure that he is unsure if he is actually ready to become, but he is training. Not having spent years training his body, he is spending these next 5 days to try and get his head in a good place.
If it's any consolation to Shao, if he allows him to, Caelum will meditate with him.
Yeah. Shao will allow you to meditate, and you can tell Caelum is somebody who has kind of been there before in your own meditation, that there are moments where like you can hear his breathing falter, and then he just holds it, and then lets it go to try and not necessarily suppress his emotions, but not let them overwhelm him in this moment.
During one of their sessions, when this happens, Caelum is looking over at Shao. I know it sounds a bit patronizing, but I've been where you were. I lost a father figure not too long ago. The worst part about it is I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. You will feel better in time. But I know for me, after a very long cry, I felt a little bit better.
And Shao will nod. And he says, I was not supposed to make this journey. My father asked me to stay home to look after my sister. I wanted to fight. I wanted to be at the front lines with him. I wanted to ride home with him, to fly home with him, to feel the sun at our backs, and know victory. On this day, while the sun does beat upon my shoulders, and victory is among us, I do not feel like I've won. And I am unsure as to how I will feel as if victory is complete without him. But I know that what he would want for me is to remain strong. For I am the first sun. I am of the first light. And there are those who will see me at their back as their own victory.
If you'll excuse me, I feel like he'd be proud of you.
Thank you.
Caelum's just gonna turn away from Shao, just back to him, just in case.
Yeah. He doesn't cry.
Okay.
Yeah, if you turn back around, you can see that he's actually, like, pulling out a piece of parchment and a big calligraphy pen. And he's just going to, like, he's going to write. He's going to express himself creatively.
I do have one last glass orb.
Shao, like, tilts his head quizzically when you say this.
Think about your father in his prime. Or, you know what, the way you want to see him.
And Shao, like, looks at you, and he closes his eyes.
Combination detect thought, encode thought, silent image, photograph. Or portrait. Into glass orb. And then
Okay.
he'll hand the glass orb to Shao.
Yeah, and Caelum, when you see the picture that manifests in this glass orb, it is like a 3/4 view from somebody whose eye level is waist high. And you look up and you can see that there is this brilliant sun that is silhouetting his father, and you can still see his face. And in these stern, stoic eyes, there is a smile that betrays them. And it is just the slightest crook of a smile.
Shao of the First Light. I've seen a lot of things. I've experienced a lot of people. And I've got a good feeling that you are going to shine brighter than any sun.
And you can see that, like, his throat, like, quivers as he just nods and as he accepts this glass orb. And as he looks at it, he takes a kind of a shuddering breath in and says that he would wish to be alone.
Caelum leaves.
And as you leave, Shao is just like, he's looking at this orb, and you just hear the sound of him dropping to his knees. You know that he's going to be in for a very good cry.
Yep. If Caelum's just gonna stand a little bit away from the door, and if anyone approaches, he's just gonna shoo them away.
Okay. But yeah, the rest of your journey ends up going by completely completely without surprises necessarily. You end up finding yourself back to the edge of the Brightwardens lands, and as you do, you can see that those, like, younger Aarakocra have, like, come to the edges of their small homes that they have up in the trees, and they are just sort of, like, watching you, and they are, like, excited, like, they rush out and they're like, oh my god, they're coming back. And, like, you can see that, like, they get to the edge, and there are children who are searching amongst your numbers for individuals who they will not see, and there are others who you can see are just like, it doesn't faze them at all. Like, yay, the warriors have come back. And, like, they are, like, there's a mixture of just that kind of tense joy. There is a feeling of sadness within it, but the numbers outweigh that these groups are excited to see you. And along the way, you can see that Shao, now out in front of his subjects, approaches these children and tells them how bravely their mother fought. He tells them that the war is over. The war is won. And you can see that there is that look of hardship about them, as other of these warriors like will hand them the pommels of their of the katanas that they had previously. And as they go, it seems to kind of be not only, it's like a combination funeral march, victory march. It's very somber, but eventually you do make it back to the shimmering area. And when you do, May will fly out as quickly as she can and just barrels into Xiao. And she is like just beating the flats of her hands of fists against Xiao's chest. She's crying profusely. And Xiao just holds her in, and his wings, both the injured and uninjured, sort of wrap around her, and he reassures her in Orin that he's here. He's here now. At this point, again, the rest of the guards are here, and they welcome you all back into the shimmering area. And they say that and Xiao is going to eventually have to make a speech to the survivors, to the people of the Brightwardens, to formally let them know of the result. But most of them have already heard from the from those like forward scouts that were still able to fly and had returned home with the tale that the war was over. And so as you reach, and like Oliviette, as like members of these groups, is also going to rush out and just like approach your group. And she like looks at the four of you and says very quietly to you, Cori, just, so I am assuming no one, not any of you four, died this time around, yeah?
No.
Missed it by that much.
Yeah, we
Not-
can't be killed. It's fine.
And
Gwen!
my first mate.
I'm afraid he got what he wanted in the end.
Yeah, he did get absorbed back into like the briny salt water. I don't know.
Wait, what? That's news to me. What?
I didn't want to mention it because I didn't know how like it was kind of intense. Yeah, he kind of just got like he was like face down, and salt water seemed like he wanted to be there. Like, I'm not, saying anything, but like he did seem like he had an option to get up, but then he kind of like just drifted into the ocean.
No, he like, you guys were like on the mainland. It was a puddle that just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yes, I said ocean. I meant like fucking just went off into the water. Doesn't make sense. Here we are. That was the journey.
And Olivia, like her eyes sort of like her like forehead like scrunches a little bit. She's like, I don't know if I will miss him. But he always said that the true faithful of Umberly would drown themselves. And if she approved of their drownings, that she would take them?
Oh, she did.
Somewhere?
She did.
So I guess he did what he needed to. Look, if any of you start drinking salt water,
nah.
No.
know that
No.
that is
No.
I've talked to Umberly.
I've talked to Umberly. That's a big pass for me.
I will be making a very charitable donation so our journey goes well.
That.
I've already gone through the water curse thing once, and I'd prefer not to do it again.
She nods. But how are all of you? Are you all okay?
Physically, yes. Don't think I like war. It's not as glamorous as the stories make it out to be.
It's only as glamorous as the victors make it. If you'll excuse me.
She nods.
Caelum's going to find a quiet place, cast establish connection, and call up Farron.
Okay. Yeah, and Farron, at this point, just... Like, do you say anything, or is it just like
Yeah,
he feels like a ping?
It's like a ping, and then, hey, it's Caelum.
Oh, hey, Caelum, I haven't heard from you in a while. How's everything going? Have you gotten that, like, submersible thing you guys were all talking about yet?
It's on the way. We got involved in some stuff, and
Oh, you're doing okay.
I just missed you.
Well, if it's in a consolation, I miss you too. Yes, it is Caelum. Prescott says hello. In
They'll spend the next
his own way.
Yeah, they'll spend the next couple of minutes just chatting.
Okay. Yeah. And Farron lets you know that they found a member of the is it Order of the Sentinel Beast?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. That they have they had found an order member of the Order of the Sentinel Beast a while ago. He's been in contact with Arjhan, letting him know, like, and they are on their way, and they feel like they're getting close to the order that follows the Raven Queen.
The Hollowed Knight.
Yes.
No, Hollow Guard.
Yes. And they feel like they're getting close to where the Hollowed Guard are possibly found. They have a good hunch about it.
all right. Well, I'll be in contact again soon. All of you be safe.
We will do our best, and when we find what we have everything for, we'll send a courier to Arjhan.
Talk to you later.
Caelum.
Yeah.
You've got this.
I should be the one saying that to you.
Well, what's the worst that's gonna happen? I've already died. And look
You
what
died
happened. You
again.
brought me back, and now I share my blood with a weird fire spirit.
Yeah, I should look into that at some point.
Oh, it's fine. We've worked out our differences.
You know, as long as both of you are happy, that's fine.
Well, happy's relative. Anyways, have a great night. Bye. Okay. So, Caelum's having that conversation with Farron. Oliviette had come up to join your group. Swift is, like, he's seeing himself, he's, like, talking about, like the battle with Agravayne to others. And he is doing his best to kind of not even mention his involvement. He was like, oh, I was there. I tried to leap onto the dragon back. It was too wily, Nya. I ended up falling into the brush, and wouldn't you believe it, all by the time that I arrived, those four... And he points over to your group. They had already done everything that they needed to. It was remarkable, really. Truly brave warriors. And it seems like the Aarakocra that are listening are nodding. And Gwen, the captain of the guard, Hylan, will come up to you, and she stands like a couple feet taller than you and looks down, and she says, "Thank you for keeping the Emperor Prince safe."
It's my genuine pleasure. Thank you for being who you are and protecting this castle.
And you see, like, her eyes narrow when you say this. Like, she wanted to go out and fight and do the big thing, and she was told to stay behind. So
Yeah.
she's just like nods, like, in a, that, like, I'll respect you as a warrior. Please stop talking kind of way. And she will.
Gwen is trying to be so genuine with this person.
But, again, you have made your way to the Shimmering Area. Things have kind of tapered off, as it were. But your group does indeed claim to have one last thing to do here. That, of course, being investigate the Waystone. So, as things sort of pick up and figure themselves out, Atris, the mystic here, will escort you all if you would all wish to investigate this thing to the entrance that is guarded by the Aarakocra to Wormcrawl Cavern.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And as he escorts you and the four of you stand before what looks like this heavily warded, heavily guarded entryway that was previously blocked by a large stone, but with a move stone spell, was able to create a entryway for you all to go into. That is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for this wonderful session of Dungeons and or Dragons. I had a great time. We're entering into a dungeon. We just defeated a dragon. We ticked the boxes, gang. But that just means that I get to think of some fun shit for next week. Next week, of course, being when we all get to play, because I love playing with these folks on the channel. RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Wait, you mean to tell me next week we're actually doing a dungeon crawl?
No, I suck at dungeons.
Okay, well,
It'll be a cave, a glorified cave.
it'll be a long hallway.
You looking at my notes?
Yeah, you shared me the OneNote. Hi, I'm RJ. You can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and sometimes through my friends. Whenever I go live in anything I do, I retweet from my Twitter. So go follow that if you want to keep up to date in places I'm going to be. The next time you could find me is tomorrow, where the Hype Goblin, Sarah, and I will be finishing up, I believe, our Stardew Valley Community Center challenge. I think we have, like, a couple of bundles left, and then we're done in year one with the Community Center. After that, catch Wings and myself on Wednesday, 8 o'clock EST over at GGK, where we're doing our session 0 of Parcelings. The game is called Ward 47, and I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I know I want to be raised by wolves. Awoo. DanaeKeener.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters and the Twitches. The next time I'm going to be live is tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. I think I'm going to do something different. Usually I play Dead by Daylight, but I might play Devil May Cry. I might play another game that I have, like Resident Evil game. But normally you can check my Twitter to find out when I'm live, or if you want, you can join my Discord to see all that fun stuff as well. That's it for me. The next time I'll be here is on next Monday, but you can catch me playing D&D on Sunday. Well, I'm running D&D on Sunday nights. You know, if
DMs are players.
DMs are players too. We're playing our Play Things of the Gods game on Sunday. They're going to start traveling the astral plane, which will be super fun. Pirates in space. DanaeKeener.com.
Wait, I'm Cyber. You can find me here on Mondays. DanaeKeener.com.
Speaking of DanaeKeener.com, hi everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me at Twitter, at Danae Keener. I've got a pinned tweet there. You can see all of the games that I am playing in because it's on the pinned tweet. I've got a schedule. You can look at it and find out where I am and what I'm doing. And go watch DanaeKeener.com.
Did you also know Danae has commissions open?
Right now, I do have commissions open. Grab up slots before they're gone because they'll go fast.
I did. I hopped in those slots. I'm excited because that means I get more incredible Danae Keener art. But If you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. And if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday because of my work schedule, 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hopefully that'll go back to the 5:30 that we've been out for the last 4 years, because that is the time that I prefer to actually start and play these games. But you can catch up on all the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point over at youtube.com/Indoor Adventures, or you can go towards anywhere audiocasts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, we are going to be heading into our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us at, again, patreon.com/Indoor Adventures, and you can join all of the fun. I don't know why I said it like that. You can join in on all the fun and hang out with the cast, and I would say crew, but that's just more of me, over at our Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side, or in the video, or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. So,
Oh no, more indoor. Whatever will I do?
oh, hey, whoa, sir. We can't show that on Twitch, but we could possibly show it on Patreon. So we're going to be heading over to patreon.com for the after show. Hope y'all had a great evening, because before we go, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!